Hey guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're over on the YouTube account, and in today's video we are looking at the Nightmare Corridor. We're going to be running through the guide from Sword and Expedition. So overall guys, the Nightmare Corridor, of course, one of the ones we went through. I did a short about killing the boss, the demonic puppet, with the 4 heroes. But running through here, you can see we are at 1% right now on this account. Now, what I do, guys, is there is a multitude of attempts that I do through here. Usually it is about 20 or 30 attempts per week or per reset that I do within the Nightmare Corridor. This takes a really big RNG factor out of there. We are also seeing, of course, Liberta and Lucilla used within formations. We're also seeing them used together within the Treasure Scramble. So there's a lot of places that they're being used. But again, I want to hop over, want to check out the guide. We're going to run through it. So let's take a look. All right, guys. So like I said, this is the guide that we have coming out. Now, I don't know any other place that they're really making the Nightmare Corridor guides. And I know there's been a little bit of break over with the Cursed Realm guide as well. I know that the individual that creates that hasn't been feeling too well. So hopefully be back to it soon. But you'll notice right here, guys, that you do need the Awakened version of Aziz. And if you only have one copy, that will work very, very well. Even within this formation, one copy of Aziz, as well as, again, the 2 new heroes. That is right, guys. We are seeing Liberta and we're seeing Lucia, or Lucilla, used within formations. You can see both of them. Again, if you save the trial version before this ends, it might be a good time to pick up that trial version if you want to score a little bit better in this mode. Now, Merc advice right there, guys. It is looking for the Awakened version of Thane with 1 team. 6 teams, you're looking for Sophia, Matria, or you're looking for Liberta at that point as well. Now, we're going to run through the teams. There isn't a lot of variations. And I know, first off, a lot of people are going to say it is not super free to play, guys, which unfortunately with a lot of game modes, there are not a ton of free to play, but you can see kind of the variation in here within the formation. So the first one, we have Brutus, we have Tamarisk, we have Crescio. Now Crescio is another hero, guys. If you're not merking one of those other heroes, you can merc him. Does incredibly well in this game mode. Also does incredibly well when it comes to the Mauler Tower. We have the Awakened version of Sophia and then Mortis in here for buffs. They are running Talisman in here. Now variation down here, guys, we are running Orthos with Matria. Of course, within this formation, guys, when Orthos ults, Matria is still going to be able to move, really maximizing the damage in there. But when we get to the regular formations, and this is more of the really the free-to-play friendly formations that we see, running down here, we have the Awakened version of Brutus. On Tundra, we have Tamarisk, we have Kren, and we have Mortis. Again, this bottom one is the super free-to-play friendly version of this kind of game mode that we see. And of course, this one is called Wither. It also shows you the threshold of the Knife Sheep is 303, which the Knife Sheep is actually Crescio 30330. I've tried to go through and learn some of the names, or essentially what the translation is and what they do call it. So this would be team 1, works best from top to bottom, which is true of all of these. Now, looking at the second one, we do have, again, kind of a formation. This has the Awakened version of Thane in there. The rest of these heroes are pretty regular, I would say. So even looking in there, guys, we have Saurus, which of course is a big boss killer, which is a healer. We have Leica, Silas, we have Joan, which again, as a free-to-play player, not super difficult. The Awakened version of Thane is the one that is very dependent. Now, of course, if you don't have him, you can also put the Awakened version of Athalia, depending on who you built. But there is also Vithiel in this comp. If you don't make a super sword, but you have a penalty, you can use the second set of lineups, which is this one. And I believe the super sword is the Awakened version of Thane. You can go into the second lineup, which again, not a lot of variations in here. Position number 5, you can see Leica, you can see Scrag in there for that invade going in with team number 2. Now, team number 3, this is another one, guys, where it is the Awakened version of Belinda. She is still the number 1 priority within pretty much any game mode, guys. She does more damage than anyone else, which is kind of a given. In here, we do have Anasta in here, which does require a little bit of a build for the mitigation. But in here, we do have Ivan. Ivan is going to buff that Awakened version of Belinda, running the Winged Lion in here or the Owl, depending on who you're running. Now, in the bottom, again, the free-to-play version of this, or the free-to-play friendly. If you don't have Ogath, guys, we do have Dres down here. We do have Anasta or Antandra down here, used as some subs in the Awakened version of Solus. Again, depending who you built in here, and it is running Oberyn. When you look big picture, when you look at Oberyn, when you look at a couple of the heroes that are now one of the biggest priorities. We see Orin in there, we see Ivan in there, we see a lot of heroes that are and carry a very, very big priority within AFK Arena that does work incredibly well. So again, this last formation would be the free-to-play friendly version if you're looking to really build that out. Now the mask, of course, the mask is, I believe, the boss name. If you don't have that awakened version of Athalia, you can actually go in here with Baden, or you can go in here with Rosaline. Both of those, but it also does have our new Mauler hero in here. Again, it doesn't require a huge build out. We have Demia in here. If you don't have the Mauler, you can put Estrilda in here. So again, you see there are quite a few formations in here that you can swap out, but it is running Scarlet. Again, Scarlet and Rain. With Demia, really big priorities to build. Then it is running Blade Ridge in here. Blade Ridge, of course, to buff up Scarlet, or Blade Ridge will buff up the awakened version of Athalia, depending on exactly who you're running in this formation and who you do have built. So this one, guys, it is super strong when it comes to Rem and Amelia. This is the one, of course, Super Fear of the gold quality can be played, which means the awakened version of Aziz, if you literally have one copy, which I run one single copy in here, works incredibly well. Interesting enough, guys, Trishia is in here, but you'll also see we have Vithiel and we have the awakened version of Baden. So both Vithiel and the awakened version of Baden can be used in a multitude of formations, is kind of what we're seeing in this game mode. This is running the Seal in here, and this is also running the Winged Lion as a backup within this formation. Then, of course, we have the Magic Puppet right here. Magic Puppet, of course, this is where the new heroes are coming in, guys. We have Liberta and we have Lucilla right here in the formation. You can see single purple Black Phoenix, but put up front. Black Phoenix is considered Demia rate, or excuse me, Matria right here. So you're running, again, a multitude of heroes in here. If you don't have, or if you're using our new Mauler in a different place, you can also sub in Lucilla for that formation. And then it kind of breaks it down to a couple other ones. And again, you'll notice that a majority of heroes we're seeing within this formation are used in a multitude of teams. They are also utilized in a multitude of formations. So even looking at Vithiel, Palmer, Rosaline, even looking at Orin, again, there are a lot of heroes that you can sub in for different areas, which means what I do generally, guys, and I want to go through this real quick, is when I'm going through on my YouTube account, it's easy. I can build the best formations. I don't have all of the heroes fully built, but it's going to be incredibly easy to build usually the top comps. If I'm missing a hero specifically, I can merc that hero from some other players, meaning I can go through here and build. What I do on the free-to-play account, and this is kind of the big difference, guys, is I try to build out any team that I can with the heroes that I possess, which makes a big difference, guys. Like this bottom team, I'll be able to build that on my free-to-play account. This top team, yes, that is going to be my free-to-play account. Looking down here, I do not have, I don't have Olgath on there. I do have Orin. I do have Dres and Antandra. So in this formation, guys, I would use this bottom one because I also do have Solus. So I would pop Dres right in here with Iran, and I would save Antandra for probably a later formation. Now in here, I do not have the awakened version of Athalia, but I do have Rosaline, and I also do have Baden within there, which means, again, I would kind of swap those out. And if you caught the video on the free-to-play account, we don't have Demia built out, but again, I would sub in Estrilda in there because that is where we're at. Now I have Rem and Amelia, and I have the twins, which is good. I don't have Trishia, so I'm going to have to find a hero to put in there that is going to work as a solid DPS within the formation. This I would look at subcomps. This I would look at because I don't have Vithiel either, but I do have Baden, but Baden I'm using in a different formation. So again, build the formations that you can build with the heroes that you do have built. Also looking at what other players are using, going through kind of that. And then, of course, here is the 4 card, which works. And you can see right down here, there are a couple ones with the new heroes. And then we also do have Rem down here. Number 4 is empty, and then number 5 would be the twins in that back. The Maiden and the Sun work incredibly well, guys. So I hope it broke it down a little bit. Again, I don't know any other players right now that are doing these short of Sword and Expedition that is putting out the guides for the Nightmare Corridor. So really cool to see, guys. This was over on Discord. I definitely wanted to cover it. Again, not super free to play friendly, but again, this game mode is not super free to play friendly. So I hope you found some utility in it and some use. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.